Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on the time you join us with today in Fascinator class. I am Mr. Levite by name. If today is your first time of following us, you are welcome. And for those of us that has been following us before, you are just wonderful. And today I have what is called Fascinator class, as it used to be. We have crinoline fascinator class, and you know how I used to do it with our accessories presently before us. I have my crinoline here. I have my crinoline here. This is 6 inches of crinoline. I have my needle with thread. I equally have my scissors, and as well, I have my tape, measuring tape. Um, Crinoline fascinator design has four four design. We have round design, we have flower design, and we equally have funky design. We also have bow tie design. All of them are the makeups of fascinator crinoline design. So, but let's go there now. Let's just go to work on how to get the four of them. Just pay attention and enjoy the class. Let's go over to there now. Now, before we start over, we have to measure crinoline on how many yardage you want it to look like. Now, I'll be getting crinoline of 1.5 yards. A yard should be 36 inches, and 1.5 yards should be 36 inches plus 18 inches. A little calculation about that, it should be 36 plus 18, it should be 30, and then 40, and 18, 8, and 2. Yes, okay, that should be 54. 54. So remember, we are using here, and not here. Here is always for Senegalese, and here is for our normal. So I am going to measure from here 36 inches of the crinoline. I am going over to 36 inches of the crinoline. I have gotten the 36 here. You can see I've gotten the 36. It's 36 inches, and I will definitely still add my 18 inches. So what I'll do is just to peel out the tape and start from where I stopped on the 36 inches. Now going over to the 18 inches. Now this is what I got. 18 inches. That is 1.5 yard of the crinoline. And after that, I'll use my scissors to cut it over here. So I have gotten one and a half yards of the crinoline. Now, how do we get it? This is a plain material. If you followed me before, you understand that I said this is a plain material. But how do you get something out of this plane? It's like the world that is without form and void, and God formed things out of it, unimaginable. He created something out of it. So I want us to create something out of this plain material called crinoline. Now let's go over to it. Now the work is here already. Here is the crinoline. So how do we get it? We'll fold it together. Remember, we'll fold it together. It should come from your left hand side, from your left hand side to your right hand side, not from your right hand side to your left hand side. So we are holding it from here. So it is my right hand side holding the end part of the crinoline, and my left hand now here like this. So how do we get it twisted? Now I am going for round design fascinator crinoline. Remember, now I have to sew from here. I have to sew it from here, a zigzag movement in between. Remember, in between like this, Yes, it's true. I am using lemon crinoline, but with red thread, but it doesn't matter. So I will just tie it all over here. I'll tie it like this. After tying it, I will still sew from here. Remember, from the middle of the fastening, from the crinoline, not the fascinator, from the crinoline. Now, like this, I have tied it. Now, what I will do to get the shape done is to move from the peak, from here, from the peak, if you can see me very well, from the peak. So, this is how we'll go zigzag movement on the top of the crinoline. Now, like this. Now, I am now sewing it not too far and not too close. Not too far and not too close. I am trying to refresh my old students' memory. It shouldn't be too far. It shouldn't be it shouldn't be too close as well. So we are moving so zigzagly, and if you can see, it is now giving us some shapes already. So not too far, a zigzag movement. Remember, on the peak of the crinoline, you now understand. Like this and like this and like this and like this and like this. So this is how we got it. This is how we'll be doing it. And let me show you what I got. Let me show you this. Now you can see. So I am going to bring out my thread like this. I'm going to bring out my thread like this to make sure that my thread is. And one thing about this is that you have to be conscious of your thread. You understand? You really have to be conscious of your thread so it doesn't go and tie up itself. You know, thread can misbehave sometimes. Thread can absolutely get misbehaved. So you have to be conscious of your thread. That we are now dragging it up and up and up. So I am being conscious of my thread like this and like this. And this is what we've gotten. It is no more plain or I've getting it twisted. So what's the next step? Now let me show you the next step. Now on the next step now is after you've gotten this like this, remember, after you've gotten this like this, all you have to do is to get it, just be bringing it down a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, until you get to the peak and make sure it's very tight. You can see the length of my hands now. Now, I've gotten here already, so I'll now start all over again, and I'll be drawing it. I'll be drawing it, bringing it too close. And you can see now it's folding on itself. This is how to get it, and like this one more time, like this, like this, and after that, do me a favor and tie it up like this. Tie it up like this. Make sure you tie it up here. I am tying it. I am tying it. Just tie it. Tie it very well. And after tying it, you sew again in between the crinoline. So it will be very strong. Remember that it will be very strong. So after that, you do this a favor again and sew in between the crinoline. Watch closer and see what I am doing. You sew. Now the thread is going to misbehave, but I think I've arranged that already. From here, you sew. I am sewing in between of the crinoline. You can see me now. Now in between the crinoline, and I am being conscious of my thread so it doesn't get strong, doesn't go and tie itself, and I will be forcing it to untie itself. So this, the reason why I sew in between is just for me to get this like this. This is called the round design. You can see how it looks like. It's called the round design of the crinoline fascinator. Yes. So Sorry, I changed some light so you can see how it looks like. That's why I changed some light so that the color will be visible. Now this is how it looks like. Now after that you tie, you still sew in between the crinoline, remember, and I'm trying to sew it. And after sewing it this time, I will tie it. I will tie it, but before tying it, I have to still come back from the behind of the crinoline like this, just to get it very strong. To get it very strong, and all I will do is to like this.